Have you ever been peacefully sitting at home late at night when suddenly your cat explodes? One second they're asleep, the next they're sprinting through the house at full speed, bouncing off furniture, sliding across the floor, and charging from room to room like they're being chased by something you can't see. And if you've ever watched this happen, you've probably wondered the same thing. Why do cats suddenly run around the house like crazy at night? Are they bored? Are they hunting imaginary creatures? Or do they simply enjoy causing chaos when you're trying to relax? The answer is actually far more interesting than most people realize, because what looks completely random is often the result of instincts that have been shaping cats for thousands of years. And once you understand what's happening, you'll probably never look at those late-night Zoomies the same way again. The first thing to know is that your cat isn't losing their mind. In fact, in many cases, they're behaving exactly as nature designed them to. But here's the interesting part. Most people assume cats are truly nocturnal. They're not. Cats are actually what scientists call crepuscular. That means they're naturally most active during dawn and dusk, and this small detail explains a lot. Think about wild cats for a moment. The times when many small animals are most active are often around sunrise and sunset. For a hunter, those hours are incredibly valuable. Over thousands of generations, cats evolved to become alert, energetic, and ready to hunt during these periods. And even though your cat lives in a comfortable home with a full food bowl, those instincts haven't disappeared. They're still there, waiting. So when evening arrives and your house becomes quieter, your cat's internal clock may be telling them that it's time to get moving. But that's only part of the story, because if natural instincts were the whole explanation, every cat would simply walk around more at night. Instead, some cats turn into furry rockets, and this is where it gets weird. Many indoor cats spend a large part of their day resting. Actually, cats sleep or rest for a surprisingly large portion of every 24-hour period, but rest doesn't mean their energy needs disappear. Imagine spending hours doing almost nothing, then suddenly feeling a huge burst of motivation. That's often what happens. The energy that wasn't used during the day needs an outlet, and when it finally comes out, it can come out fast, very fast. This is one reason veterinarians and animal behavior experts often refer to these episodes as Zoomies, short bursts of intense activity, a way for the body to release pent-up energy. But here's something many owners never notice. The Zoomies often happen after specific events. Have you ever seen your cat suddenly sprint after using the litter box? You're not imagining it. Many cats become unusually energetic afterward. Researchers don't fully understand every reason behind this behavior, but there are several realistic explanations. One possibility is simple relief. Another is that the physical activity may trigger a burst of excitement. Whatever the exact cause, many cats seem to feel energized immediately afterward, and if you've noticed this pattern, you're definitely not alone. But wait, there's another hidden reason that can make nighttime Zoomies even more intense. Your cat's environment. What most people don't realize is that indoor life can be both comfortable and surprisingly boring. Food arrives without hunting. Danger is minimal. The same rooms are seen every day. For humans, that sounds relaxing. For an animal designed to stalk, chase, climb, and explore, it's a little more complicated. Cats have highly developed hunting instincts, even when they're not hungry, even when they're perfectly healthy. The desire to chase moving objects is still there. The desire to practice hunting skills is still there. And if those instincts aren't used regularly during the day, they often show up in unexpected ways later, like racing through the hallway at midnight, or launching across the couch for absolutely no obvious reason, or suddenly attacking a toy that has been ignored for weeks. But here's the fascinating part. Sometimes your cat isn't just burning energy. They're practicing. That may sound strange. After all, they're not preparing to survive in the wild. But instinct doesn't care where they live. Many Zoomie sessions involve quick turns, sudden acceleration, jumping, climbing, and chasing. These are all movements connected to natural hunting behaviors. In a way, your cat may be running a built-in program that's been passed down through countless generations, and they don't even know they're doing it. Now here's a question. Have you ever noticed that cats often become more active right before you go to bed? That's not always a coincidence, because your routine affects your cat more than you might think. Cats are excellent observers. They pay attention to patterns. Far more than many people realize, they notice when you wake up, they notice when you leave, they notice when you prepare meals, and yes, they notice bedtime routines too. Over time, your cat may learn that certain activities signal changes in the household. Lights dim, movement slows, the environment becomes quieter, and sometimes that shift triggers increased activity, almost like a final burst before the night settles in. But here's something that surprises many cat owners. Not all Zoomies are purely physical. Some can be linked to excitement. Cats experience emotional arousal too. A new toy, a visitor, a bird seen through the window, an unusual sound, even something that happened hours earlier may contribute to increased activity later. Their brains process the world differently than ours, and sometimes excitement builds before it finally comes out as movement, which brings us to something even more unexpected. Age matters a lot. Kittens are famous for Zoomies, and for good reason. Young cats have enormous amounts of energy. They're learning about their bodies, learning coordination, learning how to jump, chase, and react. Everything is new, everything is exciting, so frequent bursts of wild activity are completely normal. Adult cats often calm down somewhat, but many still experience regular Zoomies, especially if they spend most of their time indoors. And while senior cats may become less active overall, some still have occasional energetic moments that seem to come out of nowhere. Now you might be wondering something. If Zoomies are normal, should you ever be concerned? Most of the time, no. Healthy cats often engage in short periods of intense activity. That's completely normal behavior. However, if you notice sudden changes that are unusual for your cat, especially when combined with signs of discomfort, distress, confusion, or illness, it's always worth speaking with a veterinarian. Because context matters. A cat that occasionally races around the house and then relaxes is very different from a cat showing other concerning symptoms. But assuming your cat is healthy, those nighttime races are usually just another part of being a cat. And honestly, that's what makes them so fascinating. One moment they're curled up asleep, the next they're moving with incredible speed and precision. It's a reminder that beneath the calm exterior is an animal shaped by millions of years of evolution, a tiny predator living in your living room. And maybe that's why so many people love cats in the first place. They're affectionate, they're mysterious, they're unpredictable, and sometimes they remind us that even though they share our homes, part of them still belongs to a much older world. The next time your cat suddenly tears through the hallway at midnight, try looking at it differently. Instead of seeing random chaos, see instincts, see energy, see a glimpse of the hunter hidden beneath all that fur. Because what seems strange to us often makes perfect sense to a cat. And the more we understand them, the stronger that bond becomes, not because we change who they are, but because we finally start seeing the world from their perspective. If you've ever witnessed a legendary Zoomie session, let us know in the comments. What is the craziest thing your cat has done during one of these midnight sprints? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more fascinating insights into the secret world of cats. Thanks for watching, and if your cat happens to be nearby right now, you might notice they're completely calm again, as if those Zoomies never happened at all. Meow!